Good day, Ramblers, and welcome back to The View from the Mountain. Here I'm your host, Paul Mountain, to take you through the build-up to the final game of the season. Well, the regular season as it was, because we as Blades are now buckled in for at least another 2 games in a semi-final clash against who knows who. Could possibly be Blackburn, could be Blackburn 3 games in a row, so probably get tired of doing these by then if that is the case. But Blackburn have reignited their season, and fair play to them, they've won the last 4 games on the spin. So they're coming into this game with a 2-1 victory against Watford. They beat Sunderland 1-0. They thrashed Millwall 4-1 and beat Luton 1-0. They drew 2-2 with Sheffield Wednesday, and they lost to Borough in the game before that. So they've won 4 of the last 6, but more importantly for them, all they're thinking about is these last 4 matches when they have dragged themselves into contention for these playoff spots. There are 5 teams going for that last 2 spots. They are not in the driving seat, because if Coventry win and Bristol win, then they will automatically qualify for the playoffs, and that would put us in against Coventry City. That semi-final, that big semi-final, first leg being away from home, we already know, because we're cemented in 3rd place, Sunderland cemented in 4th, and then the first leg being away for us at a rival ground, and then at home on the Monday evening, Thursday, Monday, so getting a 4-day gap in between. Very exciting time of the season. I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of pleased actually that we've got a game against a side that have something to play for. I'd have been a little bit disappointed if we'd been a bit of a dead rubber with us cemented in 3rd and Blackburn with nothing to play for. It could have been a less competitive encounter, that's for sure. But this now becomes Blackburn's biggest game of the season, and they're coming down to beautiful downtown Bramall Lane to play it. Us, I think that we need to make a few changes to what the game was last time. I think that there was some players running on fumes. We know that there's certain players that are affected a little bit more by the volume of games that we have, and there were some decisions taken to rest certain players, including Gus Hamer. So Blackburn Rovers, they've got a really steady back line, a lot of consistency at the back for them. Tot in goal has been decent this season. He's rated fairly highly. He's done a decent job, and like I said, in recent games, and he's been there to make sure that they've picked up those 3 points that they needed. They've had Dominic Heim at centre back. He's played 45 matches for him this season, so it's been a real consistent presence for them. Certainly going to be picked for these crunch games at the end of the season. Danny Batt, a seasoned campaigner at the level. I remember him years ago at Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's a really steady centre-back at this level. Played an awful lot of games. I wouldn't like to guess how many, but he's 34 years old, but still commands the most man-of-the-match performances for Blackburn this season. So a real experienced player, someone with pace can certainly get at, and Valerian Ismail, the manager, will certainly be hoping that Tyrese Campbell doesn't get in a foot race with Danny Batt with a lot of open grass in front, that's for sure. At right back they've got Callum Britton. He's been really good this season. He's their top rated player when it comes to the average rating this season, so he's the right back and done a good job for them. Yuri Ribeiro played in the last game, and I assume he'll start again for them at left back. They have the same formation as United, or they certainly did in the last game, playing 4-2-3-1 formation. Obviously that's Wilder's preferred style. Tronstadt and Travis in the centre are very steady at this level. I think that they are decent players, and there's some good players moving forward in the team as well. Ryan Hedges, his output hasn't been amazing this season. He plays on the left hand side for them, but a hard working player. Todd Cantwell, who's also a recognised face, he scored 3 and assisted 7 goals this season, so had 10 goal involvements. I think he would have liked to have been a bigger presence here, having had that spell up in Rangers. I don't think it was quite the success that he wanted. We knew when he was at Norwich he was kind of a big prospect, and certainly at this level is a dangerous player in that position. Tyrese Dolan, who a lot of Unitedites really like, 7 goals, 6 assists this season. I think he's an energetic young player, lots and lots of pace on that right hand side, and is a threat. Burrows will have to be on his game and making sure that he's defending properly, hopefully with a bit of support from centre half, which could be either Jack Robinson or Ahmed Hodzic. Up top, their top scorer, Ahashi, he's got 8 goals and 3 assists this season. They've been a little bit unlucky with injuries at the top of the pitch, in that they've lost 2 of their main strikers, one of which we recognise an awful lot in Andy Wyman. He's got 7 goals this season. He won't be playing. He's injured with a meniscus injury. And they had Gay as well up top, who scored 6 and assisted 6 when he got injured as well. So he's out, I believe, at this moment in time. Emmanuel Dennis, I think they've had him off Forest on loan, I believe, and maybe, I don't know if they bought him or not, to be honest. But he's obviously at this level, has scored goals and is a danger. I think he's got pace, good, decent in the air. Dennis, I thought he was someone that we could have gone for when we went to the Premier League, but apparently he's a bit of a character off the field, and maybe didn't fit in at Nottingham Forest by the look of it, and maybe that could have been why. I don't know. They've got Cauley Woodrow, who is recognised again, another experienced player who can play at the top of the pitch. Dion Sanderson, who I remember I think we were having a look at him at one point to come and play for us. And then obviously as well the experience of Adam Forshaw, who's been around the division a lot. So they've got loads and loads of experience, all dangerous players who've played for sides at the top of this division, and they will pose threat. Obviously 4 wins out of 4. Brimming with confidence at the moment. Again, biggest game of the season. This game means a lot to Blackburn, and it'll provide them with that. If they win, it'll give them that opportunity to jump into the playoffs with really nothing to lose. No pressure on Blackburn. They've got everything to go for and nothing to lose. I had a look at the nose picks, looking at his team. Won't be too dissimilar to that, but I'm going to go for Michael Cooper in goal. Shock horror. I don't think we need to be resting him. We need to build some consistency at the back. At right back, starting for me would be Hamza Chowdhury. I think he's earned that position in recent games, certainly with some outstanding performances there. Although he is a centre mid, I think he's had his best performances at right back, and I think that's where he should start. I would be personally going for Anil Hamidhodzic at centre half alongside, wait for it, Rob Holding. Okay, I believe that this is a good opportunity for us to see those two together for an hour. I think that he should be bringing on Jack Robinson after about 65 minutes, probably resting Holding, who still needs minutes in his legs, but we don't want to tire him out because he hasn't had loads and loads of football. Harrison Burrows at left back, Sidney Peck in the centre, having had a rest in the last game. Vinny Souza alongside. I think he'll play Callum O'Hare in the centre for this one. I think he'll play in the 10 with Diaz on the left hand side against his former club. I'm sure he'll be wanting to impress, although he may not celebrate a goal. I'd be going with Raksaki on the right hand side for this match, and then Tyrese Campbell, who I think is our our main danger man up front. I know Tom Cannon needs the games and the minutes. I think Cannon will come on, possibly even at half time, to replace him. I think there's going to be some room for some changes in this game. I know Dave went through some of the changes that he'd be making. I didn't disagree. I think Chowdhury's got 90 minutes in the legs. I think Peck is the one that I would be resting if I had the choice. Obviously, it depends who else is fit, but I'd be looking at bringing on Gus Hamer at some point during the game just to keep that freshness in his legs, maybe for the last 20 minutes. Some people would argue that it's not worth the risk. Well, I think Gus Hamer's the type of player that needs to have minutes in his legs, because I don't think he's necessarily the fittest player we've got, but he is all action and he will give 100%, and it doesn't matter if he gets that yellow card. So personally, I'd be looking to bring him on later on in the game to sort of shore things up. I would like to see half a game for Tom Cannon and Kiefer Moore, that experiment up top, for a different kind of option for us with the two up top. I think that's important. And again, I still think there's a role to play for Jack Robinson, but I believe it should be off the bench in this particular game. Harrison Burrows, who I think has suffered with the volume of games this season at times. Nothing wrong with bringing Sam McCallum on in that position as well. So yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for us to see our team with a bit of synergy and trying to work on that cohesion and make sure that we're firing on all cylinders for the next game, but certainly resting those players that he feels need that rest. I haven't seen them in training. I don't know about their conditioning, so I'm just going with what I think is our strongest team minus Gus Hamer at this point, because I just think he doesn't certainly need a 90-70 minutes in his legs for the first leg of the playoffs. So yeah, I'm quietly confident about this one, but also at the same time, we've got to recognise that this is Blackburn's entire season in one game. They'll travel in numbers. It's the biggest game of their season. We've got to be ready for it, because yeah, they've turned over Millwall recently 4-1, who a lot of Unitedites don't want to find in the playoffs. Personally, I'd be happy to get Millwall as one of the teams that I wouldn't necessarily be as fearful of. I still believe that Coventry and Middlesbrough are the teams that I think have the most quality individuals who can win a game on their own. So I believe that they're the ones that we should be trying to miss in the semi-final. But at the end of the day, if we want to win the playoffs, it shouldn't really matter who we're up against. Bring on the challenges, to be honest with you. On any day, any of these teams could beat each other. I think we've shown that we're the consistent force in this division. I do feel a lot more confident this year than I have in past playoff campaigns, having had many scars. I was stood there for David Hopkin, Wade Elliott, Brown's missed penalty against Wolves in the semi when I thought, here we go, we could be coming back after Kennedy had smashed one in for Wolves. I've been to all of them. I've watched Simonson's shot sail off into space, and yeah, I've got those scars, but like Wilder says, this group, they don't feel that pain. We feel it as fans, but I am confident this year we've got match winners in this team, and we've been the most consistent. That doesn't stand up for a lot in the final. I know that it's a bit of a shootout, but I'm confident that he's the man to get us fit and firing, ready for this playoff campaign. Come on, Ramblers, we can do it. Let's make some noise on Saturday. Really looking forward to seeing you lot on Saturday. Those of you that are coming down to Triple Point, I'm actually going out in Sheffield afterwards, so if anyone wants to come and meet me for a beer, please feel free to come up and say hello. I've got a couple of pals with me as well, so I'll be looking forward to bumping into a load of you and enjoying the festivities. The Big Bash on Sunday, really looking forward to that, and of course the Players Awards dinner in the evening. Suited and booted, good to go. I can't wait for that. Alright guys, up the Ramble, up the Blades. That was the view from the mountain. This is the view.